Good day. Welcome to another session with Guru Wonder. I'm your host, Gurvinder Singh. Sometimes bad ideas become popular. One of them is follow your passion. So we tell youngsters, people that believe in us, follow your passion. It's a ridiculous idea. It's fashionable, and we encourage youngsters particularly to do so. What is passion? Passion is an unquenchable emotional fire that is usually born out of great joy, deprivation, and suffering. And that passion then drives us to change our situation and our world to fit our expectations. To achieve that successfully, we need to rely on our talents and our strengths. Passion naturally demands expression and action, but passion is static and blind. It needs to become dynamic with direction, powered by capacity and requisite capabilities. Success cannot be achieved merely by being passionate about something. We also need talent, we need intelligence, we need knowledge, we need skill, we need cunning, ruthlessness, and a dash of luck to succeed. Permit me to explain. Everyone has some talent or the other, but few of us know what they are. Therefore, one has to explore and gather experiences. You discover what you're good at, what you're not so good at. We have to encounter successes. We have to experience failures to discover what talents we possess. We will know what our talents are when we discover an ability to do something which is not easy for the others. As a talent hits a target that is not easy for others to hit. One of the signs of an intelligent person is that the intelligent person knows what he or she does not know. And they're discovered rather quickly. The next most important thing an intelligent person does is develop the ability to learn either to get the information to directly, or how to find people who possess and are willing to impart the requisite knowledge. This is why constant learning, unlearning, relearning are important. Now, before you dash off looking for a teacher, remember to make a distinction between learning and teaching. A teacher cannot make us learn. He or she can only assist in discovery and hence facilitate learning by the student. They can create the environment, they can facilitate it, but they cannot make you learn. So where does learning come from? It comes from observing, it comes from reading, it comes from discussing, it comes from debating, it comes from practicing, it comes from writing, traveling, etc. So when we do all these things and even more, we learn. We have to remember that intelligence is inherited, knowledge is acquired, talent is discovered, skill is developed, and passion is born from circumstances and experience. Then there is skill. Skill is the marriage between our knowledge and talents. which is our natural abilities to pursue goals and obtain desired results. While talent is latent, knowledge is passive, skill becomes the driver necessary for success. Because passion is the intensity we feel for something, the greater the passion, the greater the drive. The more the driving force we develop, and the more ruthless we become. You would say, my God, why are you talking about being ruthless? Ruthlessness is not necessarily bad. It's merely the disconnection of emotions from the intellect, imparting the ability to objectively assess a situation and take actions. And this allows us to achieve whatever goals or pursue whatever goals one chooses. This is why you might notice that successful people tend to be cold and unemotional. There is a clear distinction between emotional decisions and objective decisions. That is why to be successful and happy, it is better not to follow our passion, but to be passionate about skillfully developing our talents. Passion, though expressed outwards, is actually born within. And in spite of the best efforts of parents, teachers and leaders, passion cannot be infused from the outside. It has to come from within. That's why people who are excessively comfortable, they lack passion. So lecturing may show us the doorway, but it is passion that makes us cross the threshold. It is the cocktail of passion, talent, skill, knowledge and cunning that allows us to proceed to success. There is something more I just mentioned, and that is about cunning. Cunning is to be explained in this way that we live in a socio-political, economic society, all societies, in which we are really alone, and nor do our actions go unnoticed by others. And the journey of life is littered with obstacles and barriers, some natural, some circumstantial, and mostly created by others. These obstacles and barriers have to be surmounted in order for us to be successful. One has to compete for resources and opportunities. This is why to succeed, one also needs to be cunning. Cunning is different from being smart or clever. Cunning is the ability to assume the worst possible behavior, scenario and outcomes, to be proactive and remain guarded to forestall any misfortune. Cunning is bad only if it is deployed towards unworthy actions and goals. In the material world, naivety, innocence, they are self-defeating. That is why we need cunning. I repeat. Nature is harsh, let's face it. It will never support the weak. There is much impurity and evil that exists in some humans. In the material world, to innocently consider as harmless, all humans as harmless or posing no danger, is a definite recipe for failure, even disaster. One can be cunning and yet be honorable, honest, and noble. Unfortunately, few of us expose our children to these aspects so essential for success and peace of mind. We should make the young aware not only of goodness but also the reality and ugly aspects of life. We have to help them to develop the ability to detect evil and bad, to avoid, to bypass, to surmount, to cope effectively with situations as needed. This is where cunning plays an important role. Cunning and ruthlessness may be essential in the material world. However, there is no place for cunning in relationships between friends, family, and associates. Once we lose the trust of others, no amount of intelligence, knowledge, skill, passion, or talent will help us to succeed. So that's enough for today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please do press the like, share, and subscribe button. And I look forward to seeing you on my channel again soon. Thank you. This is Gurvinder Singh signing off.